Deep in the thicket of the forest stood an abandoned castle in which a lonely man lived. He was a sorcerer and people were afraid of him. His name was Zagan. The girl was attacked by some possessed man, but at the last moment he was stopped by Zagan, who said that the man was making noise in his domain. The man offers to negotiate, but Zagan destroys him and the girl loses consciousness from what she sees. Zagan uses magic and returns objects to their original state. The guy decides to take the girl to the road where she will be found, but something interferes with the magic. Suddenly his familiar magician Barbatos appears behind him. Zagan teleports the girl and goes home. Barbatos says that he has a good offer. He says that the demon lord Marcosius has died. Demon Lord is the title of powerful sorcerers who enhance their magic and give the right to command lower-ranking magicians. The oldest of the rulers lived for about 1,000 years and recently died. An auction is about to take place where the legacy of the Demon Lord will be sold. Barbatos' plan was to tell about the event and ask for a loan. The local guards are alarmed. Some sorcerers are kidnapping girls for their experiments. Barbatos says that Zagan is one of the suspects, and the guy also has few friends to justify him if something happens. Arriving at the place, the sorcerers see a lot of people, including even famous candidates for the place of the 13th Demon Lord. The last lot of the auction is an elf girl caught in the north. The auction starts at 10,000, but suddenly Zagan shouts out that he is putting $1 million for the elf, which makes those present shocked. Seeing the elf for the first time, Zagan fell head over heels in love with the girl. Going down to the girl, the seller says that she is wearing a collar that restrains magic, and witchcraft is also useless against her. Zagan always thought that girls only caused problems, but now he fell in love for the first time in his life. Arriving at Zagan Castle, he has no idea what to talk about or how to start a conversation. Suddenly, the elf woman asks permission to ask a question. She asks how exactly he will destroy the elf woman. Zagran says that he needs the girl alive, and she thought that he would torture her forever. The girl introduces herself. Her name is Nephilia. If it's too long, then just Nephi. She says that she has no last name because she was considered a cursed child. Zagan says that he is not going to conduct experiments on the girl. The guy is very nervous but collects his thoughts and offers to show the girl the rooms. She will wash away anyone she likes. Zagan understands that the girl had a terrible childhood and also recalls her terrible and difficult childhood. The guy says that he bought her for his own purposes and orders her to live for this. Walking along the spiral staircase, the girl stumbles and falls, but Zagan catches her and takes her hand. Arriving at the room and opening it, there are torture objects there. Zagan apologizes for this. The guy destroys the weapons in the room with explosive magic and devastates it. Nephilia sees such destructive magic for the first time. Going out onto the balcony, the girl sees a beautiful moon, after which she asks permission to stay in this room. The room is not ready for occupancy and therefore the elf stayed overnight near Zagan. Waking up, Nephilia says good morning. The guy doesn't know what to answer and just brought her breakfast. The girl is surprised that her owner eats the same thing as her. Zagan understands that he has never eaten anything special in his life. Nephi offers to cook something. Zagan is glad that he will try homemade food and is going to go grocery shopping with the girl. Having gone to the village, the owner of the cart offers to give them a ride. Zagan realizes that he has nothing left and so they go on foot. On the way to the city, Zagan is looking for a way to earn money when suddenly the cart is attacked by robbers. Zagan uses lightning, after which he asks Nephi to stay behind and get ready to deal with the robbers. Zagan knocks out one robber, but then a sorcerer appears and says not to interfere, after which he uses a magic circle, but Zagan takes control of the circle. He uses the magic of Mania and deals with the sorcerer. The remaining robbers fled in fear. The people from the cart are grateful for the rescue and offer to accompany them as guards for a good price. Arriving in the city, Zagan tells the girl to choose everything she needs, but she replies that she will be grateful to everything that the owner gives her. Entering the sewing room, Zagan asks to dress Nephi and the seamstress happily takes her to take measurements. For the first time, Nephi was dressed in a very revealing outfit and Zagan asked to find a casual outfit. After Nephi was dressed in a maid costume, the girl and Zagan liked the option and bought it. Arriving at the blacksmith's shop, Zagan asks to remove the collar from the girl since this is the witchcraft of the past demon lord. The blacksmith says that the collar is an artifact and they don't work with such things. The blacksmith advises to look for the key to the collar. Zagan is grateful for the information and pays the blacksmith, but he does not accept the money and says that the sorcerer had already saved him once. It turns out that a year ago his cart was attacked, but Zagan came to the rescue and saved the gnome and his daughter. The gnome also says to come if you need anything. Zagan can't believe that everyone is treating him so friendly today. Evening comes and Zagan takes the elf to dinner. Nephi asks if the owner was really ready to take off the collar. Zagan replies that he wanted it that way, but for now it is impossible to remove it. Nephi says that she has never eaten in such an environment before. Zagan feels how similar he and the girl are. Having started to try Neffy's food, she says that it is very tasty. Zagan cannot prick a tomato with a fork and Neffy feeds him with a spoon, after which the couple becomes very embarrassed. Neffy says that since the owner does not want to command her, then she wants to be useful to the guy, after which Zagan feeds the girl in response and the couple becomes embarrassed again. The girl whom Zagan saved understands that it was not a dream. She and a squad of paladins were hunting demons, but suddenly one of the squad began to attack the squad members. Then she realized that he was one of those they were hunting. Clavule enters and thanks the girl for dealing with the villains. She also avenged her fallen comrades and should be proud of herself. However, the crimes did not stop. Clavule says that all these acts are the hands of Zagan. The girl does not believe this and asks to entrust this matter to her. Zagan had a dream about how a sorcerer put a seal on him as a child. Having woken up, Neffy says that she prepared breakfast. The guy was able to say good morning. The girl also cleaned the entire dining room and baked bread. The girl hasn't had breakfast yet and only prepared it for the owner. Zagan offers to share breakfast between two. Since there was no second chair, the elf placed herself on Zagan's lap and the couple fed each other. Next time, the sorcerer asked to cook for two. A few days later, Neffy sees Zagan studying something in the library. The sorcerer says that magic consists of seals and draws an example. Magic is magic circles that have symbols. The more symbols, the more powerful and accurate the magic. Anyone who can draw a magic circle inside a circle and can control it will be practically invincible and will become the greatest sorcerer. Zagan says that knowledge for sorcerers is their strength, so his books are protected by all sorts of traps, but he gave access to Nephi. The girl is grateful that the owner talked to her for so long, but also wonders why he needs so much knowledge of magic. Zagan says that he needed this knowledge to survive. Once as a child he was caught by a sorcerer and wanted to be used for sacrifice. He managed to escape and then he realized that he needed to be strong. Suddenly Zagan feels that someone has invaded his domain. The guy asks to cook dinner and says that he will be back soon. The captain of the squad breaks the trap they fell into. Zagan comes out to meet them. He sees that their captain is armed with one of the 12 sacred swords. Zagan asks them to leave as he has a lot to do. A battle ensues and the guy knocks out 2 knights. The paladin attacks Zagan, but he breaks his sword and knocks him to the ground. Zagan says that he needs to let them go so that fear about this place will spread and no one will bother him. Shastel rushes to attack and breaks Zagan's protective circle, after which he dodges attacks and says that he does not hit women. The girl says that witchcraft is evil. The guy replies that her power is also just a way to destroy weak magicians. Shastel attacks again and throws the sorcerer away, after which he gets closer to Zagan and whispers to him to pretend that he died, since the church will not leave him alone. Suddenly Neffy runs out of the castle and runs to the guy. One of the paladins throws a spear at the girl. Zagan saves her but is wounded in the arm. Suddenly the wind rises. Neffy says how dare they injure her owner, after which she binds the attackers with the magic of tree roots. Nephi later wrapped up Zagan's wound, and the paladins apologized and left them. Zagan asks if the girl was very scared, to which the girl explains that her power is called magic. Unlike witchcraft based on knowledge and logic, magic is miracles that appear from desire. Nephi is a cursed child and such power should not have existed, just like people like her with white hair. One day her village was attacked and she was told to use force to defend herself, and it was her duty. After that she was captured. She did not protect them and was glad that her offenders were punished. Zagan replies that without hesitation he would destroy both the villagers and the attackers. If you have power, then use it. Zagan says that he once saved a girl from robbers and she called his power evil. He always strived to become stronger. Zagan says that he needs Nephi and cannot imagine life without her. The girl is touched and cries. Nephi finally calmed down. The wounds on Zagan's hands were completely gone. Perhaps this was due to the touch of the elf. At night Nephi comes to Zagan and asks permission to sleep with him. Since there is only one bed in the castle, the girl suggested that the owner sleep in the bed and not on the throne. Zagan replies that the center of the barrier is in this place and he should know if something happens. She knew that he would answer like that, so she offered to sleep on her lap. Nephi was touched by the fact that, having learned about her magic, the owner allowed her to stay. Zagan offers to teach the girl witchcraft, since she is very capable but has trouble controlling the magic. From this moment on, Nephi becomes Zagan's student. Nephi noticed that when the guy talked about his past, he was sad, and concluded that it was very difficult for him, after which she hugged him. In the morning, Barbatos came to Zagan and was shocked that his friend was attacked by paladins. Zagan asks Barbatos to stop breaking barriers and breaking into his castle. Zagan also says that he took the elf as his student, and he also says that she helped him understand the paladins. Zagan is thinking about becoming a demon lord, but he has been studying magic for only 10 years, while other magicians have been studying it for decades. Barbatos says that there is still something human left in the guy, after which he leaves the castle. Zagan goes with them to repair the barriers that the paladins broke. From that day on, Nephi began to study witchcraft, not forgetting about her household chores. Living with someone turned out to be pleasant for Zagan. Nephi began to show more emotions. A few days later, glass suddenly flew out of the castle window. A huge bird sent a letter. 12 demon lords want to see him. Entering this castle, Zagan wonders what the rulers might need from him. Entering the hall, he sees the rulers in dark outfits. He feels accumulations of mana in the air. The lords say that they have chosen the guy as their new comrade. From now on he will be the 13th demon lord. Zagan is interested in why they chose him, since there are stronger sorcerers. The lord replies that Zagan managed to destroy a very strong sorcerer at the age of 8, and how he did it. At that moment the boy was able to create his own magic and understand it. Zagan is endowed with a special talent, and he will become the greatest sorcerer in history, which is why he is called the Overlord. Zagan says that if he can surpass them, then he will be able to take their power. In response, they tell him that in this case he risks losing more than he receives: power, loved ones, even memory. From this moment on, a different world and a different perception of this world awaits the guy. Zagan says that he is ready, and he felt from childhood that he would not have an ordinary life. Zagan says that he has one request. The lords answer that they will allow him to do this, and he proudly accepts the power of the demon lord. Returning home, Zagan says that he has become a demon lord, and he also inherited the property of the previous lord. After these words, he takes out the key and removes the collar from Nephi. He also says that having become the ruler, he no longer needs the elf and she can leave. Nephi stands in the gateway and doesn't understand why the owner abandoned her, because he tells her that the girl can stay.